Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Advice to Think Twice. My name is Monica and I'm here with your daily advice reading for May 10th, 2016. So this is a reading going out for everybody watching. We're looking at the main energies that we're dealing with that surround us at this time, what we need to know about them and how we can use them for our highest good. And don't get too hung up on the date. Whenever you hear this message, that is when it is meant for you to hear it. That is when it will do you the most good to hear the message. So please keep an open mind, take the messages that resonate with you in your situation, and apply them in a way that gives you guidance and direction. So first card we have excuse me. First card we have is the Three of Chalices, or the Three of Cups. It feels like today's message is all about relationship changes, because we have the Three of Cups in the past, we have the Ten of Swords in the present, and we have the Knave of Swords, or the Page of Swords, in our future energy. And we also have the guidance card of relationship change, 56. Now usually I go through the cards one by one and talk about the messages, but today they feel like they're telling a story, and so it's not necessarily that the energy is so well delimited as to this is what is in the past and this is what is in the present and this is what is coming in, okay? It tells a story, okay? The cards tell a story, and the story is about things coming to an end today, relationships that come to an end today, and this may be a romantic relationship, this may be a friendship, this may be a business relationship, a business partnership. Oh, cool. Yeah, that makes sense for me, and I just realized. And so it's talking about things changing, things coming to an end in order for new things to begin. And for most of us, this is going to apply in the relationship, in the romantic relationship sector for today, because we do have the Three of Cups, and in this deck it talks about passion. It talks about a time in our lives when we were very passionate, we were very excited about a person, about a relationship. There was a lot of heat, there was a lot of fire, and maybe we got a bit too carried away, because in this deck the Three of Cups talks about passion that needs to be mastered with a bit of reason, or a bit of being aware of what is going on and not just going with the fire because it will eat you up. And so I feel like for some of us that's what the message is, a relationship in our lives, a romantic relationships where there was a lot of passion, there was a lot of heat, because we just went with it and went with the flow. That fire started to consume us, and the passion turned into fire, and the fire turned into temper flares, where everything was exaggerated, emotions, feelings, they turned into drama, and so on and so forth. And with the Ten of Swords, that is the relationship, or the kind of relationship that is ending for us today. But the Ten of Swords has the message of everything must come to an end. Things happen for a reason. Try to find the blessing in disguise. Try to process it in your own way and understand why things had to happen this way, so that you can allow that situation to be released and healed. Because with the Knight of Wands in the future energy, we are still learning, we are still growing. I feel like this relationship happened for us to learn something from it, for us to learn something about ourselves, our own strength, our own independence, our own sense of confidence and empowerment. Because in this deck, the Knave of Swords talks about that whatever we set off on already has a touch of victory to it, and the only way we would lose is if we turn away from the battle, okay? If we turn away from the fight. If you're afraid to stand up for yourself, you're never going to win, is basically the message. So I feel like for a lot of us, we are putting an end to a situation today. And I feel like for most of us, it does feel like emotional. It feels like romantic relationships, but it also has an air of work situations to it, and even difficult friendships, because this talks about a relationship, and again, that may be romantic, maybe in your work situation, friendships, whatever interactions you have with people, or even a relationship that you have with yourself. It's a relationship that started out really beautifully. There was a lot of excitement, sparks in the air. We were starry-eyed. We had big plans. We had a lot of enthusiasm about that relationship. We could see it, growing, expanding into the future, and everything that it would bring us. But something happened along the way where either we wanted to grow the situation, but we did not have the outside support from the other person or from the other people, or just the circumstances of the situation we were dealing with. It's like we were stopped in our tracks. We wanted to run, and we just came up to one locked gate after the other, until we finally lost our spunk, we lost our energy, we lost our interest, we lost our self-confidence, our vitality, because it was difficulty after difficulty after difficulty, and we just kept thinking about all the plans that we had made and how they're just not going to happen. And so you get to a sense of disappointment where you blame yourself, when in reality maybe it wasn't your fault. Okay, it was just the circumstances, because we were not supposed to be in that situation in the first place. And so there was a lesson that we needed to learn. And so I feel like a lot of us are standing up for ourselves today, or a lot of us are saying, you know what, I'm just going to cut my losses, or you know what, this is not working, this is not what I had planned this to be, or this is not what I envisioned this to be. Simply, this is not making me happy. I'm not happy. I'm not excited anymore. I need to love the person I'm with. I need to love my job. I need to love the projects I'm doing. That is not happening, so I need to move on to find something that I can love, or someone that I can love, and they can love me back. So I feel like there's an important lesson that we are learning. There's an important lesson that we're learning as to what it is that makes us happy, and the choices and changes that we are willing to make to truly pursue that happiness. I feel like we're no longer in the passenger seat where we're just watching things happen to us. I feel like we actually feel more in control, more independent, more courageous even. We have a clearer mind, and even though we're still learning, we're not afraid to make decisions anymore. We're not afraid to take a chance on ourselves. We're not afraid to take a chance on a situation, on a person, on a job. So we're not afraid of change anymore. And we're not afraid to step outside of our comfort zone anymore. And then with the relationship change card, obviously it talks about, for a lot of us, it talks about relationships ending. We choose to end those relationships. We have conquered the lesson, and so we can put it to bed. We can lay it to rest. It's done. We are truly moving on. We're truly pursuing our future that makes us happy, a future that makes us happy. So we may be walking away from a job. We may be walking away from a romantic partner. We may be walking away from a difficult friendship where maybe you were very much close and on the same page, but in the meantime something happened, you changed, they changed, and so on, and you're just different people now. You're not on the same level anymore. And so you may feel guilty because you feel like you need to let go of that situation, but in reality I feel like today the realization comes in that we're just different people. We just want different things. We see things differently. We can be acquaintances, yes, but I feel like we're no longer going to call ourselves best friends anymore, okay? And that's okay. Remember, we're constantly learning, and we're constantly growing. And some situations and some people are in our lives just enough for us to learn a lesson. And after that, we are meant to move forward. We're not meant to be stuck in a situation that does not make us happy, okay? And so I feel like a lot of relationships ending today, of all sorts, because we have a new sense of who we are, and we have a different perspective as to what we want, what we deserve, what we're willing to do to pursue our happiness, who we're willing to cut out, or what we're willing to cut out of our lives because it's holding us back or keeping us stuck in a difficult place, keeping us stuck in a miserable place, whether that be our own perception of a situation, and that's the way we interact with ourselves, okay, our confidence, the way we see things. That is changing. We're becoming more independent. We have a clearer head. We're no longer overcome by our emotions. We are no longer controlled by our feelings, where everything is overwhelming and everything is frightening. Okay, we have a clear mind to see the situation for what it is and to be able to make cold decisions, objective decisions as to, is this what I want? Yes. Okay. Is this what I want? No. Okay. How can I change that, or how can I leave that behind? It's not easy. Definitely not. It is not easy. But the right approach to go about this is, obviously, we should be grateful for having that situation in our lives for as long as we did. We should be grateful for having those people in our lives for as long as we did. They helped us learn a lesson about ourselves that propels us into our own future, into our own better future. Okay? And things are changing. Things are changing because I feel like something is ending and already something else is beginning. So obviously, I feel like this is something we've been going back and forth on for quite some time. So there is a sense of release that is coming across for today. There is a sense of liberation that is happening today. Like I say, take a minute to have an overview of what happened and where you started and where you ended up, and what lessons you have learned, what you're taking with you from that, what you're leaving behind. Just do a quick inventory, quick check. Take a moment to be grateful, and then release that and embrace the new, because there's a lot of new energy that is coming in. Okay, there's a lot of new energy that is coming in. New relationships, new people, new partnerships, new friendships, new jobs that are coming in. New opportunities in work, whether it is applying for a company, changing our career, changing our line of business, starting our own business, patching things up with someone, burning bridges with someone else because that's it, we're done, and so on and so forth. So I feel like a lot of relationships are going to be changing today. Obviously, remember, ultimately it's for the better. Okay, so it may not be easy. We've been through a lot with these particular circumstances, situation, job, people, partner. We've been through a lot. But we have changed, we have grown, we have evolved, okay? We have outgrown that little box, and we're ready to move on into a much bigger and better future that we create for ourselves, okay? So definitely embrace the energy, make the best of this energy. Start doing whatever it is that you feel makes you happy. Small things lead to big things, and so on and so forth. So stay positive through this transition, because it will be a transition, but stay positive, because trust me, we are all heading into a better place, okay? A better way of seeing things, a better relationship, a better job, a better way that we see ourselves, a better way we see the world, and so on and so forth. So that's the message that I have for us for May 10th, 2016. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you find it useful. I hope you all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will talk to you soon. Take care.